Good Monday morning or afternoon, depending on when you are watching this video. Um, the first thing that I want to mention is today is the grace day for your first essay that was due last night. So if you were unable to complete the assignment for whatever reason, I don't need to know, but you will notice that the essay will close after tonight. So please take all the time you need to get that essay in. The other thing that I want to mention is that for this week, we are wrapping up our second unit on the Renaissance and the 17th century. And we will be moving ahead next week into our third unit on the Restoration and the early 18th century and the Age of Reason and satire and all that kind of stuff. Fabulous stuff ahead of us, guys. This week we will be delving into the age of the interregnum, the interregnum, or the Commonwealth, or the Protectorate, as they call it, and Oliver Cromwell and the 10-ish, the decade or so that England is without a king, nominally speaking. So we will also be discussing John Milton's Paradise Lost. And for those of you who are familiar with Paradise Lost, it is a rather lengthy epic, and no, we are not reading the entire thing. We are only reading book 9, which in and of its own self can kind of stand alone. You don't need to be familiar with all of the inner workings of the first 8 books, although I give you guys some kind of context to know what's happened before and where we are when we begin book 9. So I've also given you guys kind of an outline of passages to pay particular attention to before you read, so please take a look at that. The other thing that I do want to mention is last week we were without a discussion board, and this week we are going back to the discussion board format, but not necessarily a specific question for you to answer. I've really just kind of given you some points to look at and comment on, or you can comment on something else entirely. So take a look at that. You all are in small groups again. But none of that Google Doc stuff that apparently all of you guys found confusing. So we are moving back to the discussion boards, but not necessarily. It's a combination of the two. So take a look at that and let me know if you have any questions. The other thing, yes, I forgot to mention that you are also responsible for reading a poem by Catherine Phillips, another one besides The Married State, which we read last week. We are looking at the upon the double murder of King Charles. So that's kind of a way to kind of talk about some context and things like that for Paradise Lost as well. So that's all I have for you in terms of what's on the horizon for this week. And next week, I'll give you fair warning, it's kind of body and raunchy material that we are going to be reading. So please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and I will be in touch later this week. My goal is to have your essays graded in the next 7 days, so please be patient with me. I had another class, they had essays that they turned in last week or this week too, so I'm going to be busy grading. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll have my office hours again this week on Tuesday, so if you guys want to pop in and check in or anything, let me know. I'll also have them on Thursday and Wednesday too. So that's all for me for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.